Now let's get to the scheduled program. Welcome Hip Hop fam, this is the Lost Element brought to you by Hippie, where we hear from the real defenders of the culture. Yo, what's good, LA? Y'all listening to Lost Element on KQBH 101.5 FM. You know, today we got another real defender of the culture here. Y'all probably seen him up. Got bombs in the yards, trains, downtown, freeways. If you know, you know. But without further ado, how we do it here on this show. What you write, my boy?
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Bihz from the Wanted by Law crew, based out of Southern California.
That's right, man. Hey, thank you again for coming out to the show, bro. Appreciate it. First thing I want to start off with, bro, is like just tell us a little bit where you grew up and how you got into graff.
Definitely. Well, first of all, man, I'm humbled and blessed. Thank you for the opportunity, to come and share the culture with everybody and all you viewers out there. But yeah, Bihz grew up in LA, different factions of LA. From South Central to East Hollywood, primarily in the LA area. Grew up in seeing graffiti, man, just seeing graffiti everywhere. I come from a background where I was into seeing a lot of gang graffiti in my neighborhood. And because I grew up in different parts of the city of LA, I traveled a lot. With my pops. My pops used to be a driver back in the days. And when I was on vacation, while some kids were at the beach, going to theme parks and shit like that, I was working with my dad. So, just traveling all over LA, delivering packages, things like that, I was able to see the different elements of graffiti. In terms of gang graffiti, to bombing, to tags, throwies, you name it. And so at a very early age, I saw that and it caught my eye. And I had some family members that were gang affiliated too. So I would see, the tattoos and the lowrider culture and all of that. But that's pretty much how I got into it, man. I started seeing everybody, all the pioneers, man, from back in the day, from the early 90s, man. As most of you know, I'm from the 90s, I'm an older cat, so I grew up with a lot of the pioneers, man, checking them out and inspiring me to become a writer too.
Man, that's right, bro. You brought it up, bro. Like you said, you were driving around, you saw all the elements, man, gang riding to bombing to throwies. But what were some names that you would see that you're like, man, like this is something I want to do right here?
Man, the list goes on, bro. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember GK.
Okay.
Air, rest in peace, from LTS, KOG. Jin and Deuce from the Dynamite crew, the TNTs, GAWs, shout out to those cats. All the K4Ps, man, Cray. Just a lot of different guys, man, that I remember seeing. 125er,
everywhere.
One of my mentors from afar, I'm gonna shout him out, is Gas. Gasoline OG 101er, from MTA, WCA, IFK crew. Those guys, the cult crew, shout out to some of the homies from back then, also like the TKOs, the MTAs. Like there's just a lot of pioneers, man, that really made a way for graff, and really put it on the map, especially for LA graff. The different fonts and styles, man, that shit was dope. So seeing that at an early age really fucking inspired me, dude. Like, fuck, I want to see my name out like that, And man, I started fucking early, dude, like in 4th, 5th grade, just drawing shit in my notebook and just started putting the pen to the pad, bro,
Man, that's right, bro.
Yeah.
So like, man, we're gonna get more into it later, but like, were you always an artistic kid too? Like growing up, like, 'cause you said you put the pen to the pad drawing, like.
Nah, man.
It was just straight up the graph.
The graph. That's how it came about because of me seeing it out there.
Yeah.
And because of my, my family, all my cousins, my uncles, my brothers, being in neighborhoods and in the gang culture, and I wasn't artistic at all, bro. Like, I know it sounds cliche, but I'm a firm believer that we all start off as toys,
Mm-hmm.
It's not till you start applying yourself and putting the pen to the pad and sketching shit out and trying different fonts and color schemes and lettering and all of that you start to find your way, bro.
Yeah.
And I think it's a constant evolution, bro. You don't just, oh, this is the style and I'm gonna rock with this. And, you gotta keep evolving. And that's something that I've noticed that, a lot of dudes these days, they have these wild styles and some crazy ass burners, bro. And in some crazy spots too,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's something that I wasn't artistic at all, but I just, till this day, bro, I'm a firm believer that you gotta practice on paper, bro.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of technology out there like iPads and shit like that, which is cool. I'm not knocking that, but I'm old school, man. I gotta have a black book and I have to have my Prismas and different decals and all kinds of unis to just put paint on my fingers, feel that.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, when you say that, bro, like, something I hear is like a common reoccurring thing is like, you gotta hit them books, my boy. Like, you gotta practice your style in them books, bro. So just, it shows right there.
Yeah, definitely. That has to be a key, especially if you want to take this serious and you want to evolve and you want to be better, and you don't want to put out some bunk shit out in the streets, or whether it's a train or a billboard or the freeways, whatever it may be. You gotta practice, man.
Yes, sir.
Practice makes perfect. But in this graph shit, it's like you'll never be perfect, bro, because what you put on paper, when you apply it on a wall and you're using paint, it's a whole different ballpark, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man. You brought it up, like, evolution of your style, how you got into graph. But, your Bihz 1, WBL,
right,
wanted by law. So how'd you get the name Bihz, bro?
Oh, man, that's a story in itself, and not to condone any illegal activities, right? We don't want to do that. No, not at all. But yeah, man, my older cousins, it started off with me hanging out at the park with them, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out at the park, and I don't know, but back in the days, bro, in the late 80s, early 90s, bro, like, cops weren't really hip to, oh, this little kid on a bike or on a skateboard might have a gun or might have drugs on them or things like that, So I just wanted to be around the cool kids, bro, which was my older friends, So I grew up with people twice my age, and so they would put their stuff on me.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck, They used to be like, oh, that's the little businessman right there, because they'd come to the park looking for their stuff, and they'd kind of whistle or flag me down, and here I'd come in my skateboard or in a fucking bike, and and just do what I had to do.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck, bro. And for a long time it was just Bihz, just Bihz. And then when I got into high school, shout out to the homie Ions from I2W, he kind of showed me the different letter play.
Yeah.
Like, you could spell it differently, bro. Like, 3 letters is cool, but you can add another letter in there, and so you have some symmetry in your piece, like, so again, the constant evolvement, right, in the graph game. And so he put me on game on that, bro. And again, I used to go to high school in Hollywood. So those that don't know, I went to Fairfax High School.
Okay.
So I grew up around, seeing the CBS's.
Yeah.
All Melrose, that's CBS's yard. Shout out to CBS's, man. So that constant involvement and different lettering, and I played with the different letters. So you'll see me spell it Bihz. You'll see me spell it Bizs. Just different ways of just making it. It's still the same thing, but I like to play with the letters here and there, because I get to continue to, to change it up a little bit. So it's not the same thing that's rocking everywhere at the same time. So
yeah, most definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Man, you bring up like like back in the day, like you said, like writing in high school and stuff, but like I feel like that's during the time like I would always hear stories about like the writer's bench, like through the buses. Was that like during the time where bus mobbing was a big thing during that time?
Man, if you didn't catch a grill in your time back in the days, bro, you weren't hip, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you had to jump up and jump on that RTD, bro, and hang on with one hand and smash it with the other hand, bro.
Yeah.
And that was a thing, I remember we used to post up at the bus stops, different bus stops, and just wait for the buses to come. And we'd be like 15, 20 deep, bro, and we'd just mob the shit out of that bus, bro.
That's
on
dope,
the front,
bro.
on the side, on the back. It was a thing to see, man. And if shout out to all the homies that experienced that, man, because that was something to experience, But yeah, it was we used to meet up at different bus stops. Sometimes there was some spots at Melrose that we used to hang out at, some record stores.
Okay.
Some hip hop b-boy record stores, bro, that it used to be Workman's Outlet.
Yeah.
A lot of dope spots, man, that we had back in the days where we would just get together and just hit each other's black books, bro, which
That's
was
what's
dope.
up, man.
Yeah, man, it was something to see, bro.
Yeah,
it was something to see.
That's dope. I always hear stories about the RTD and the buses, and like something like I heard was like the reason why you see advertisements on the buses on the front, inside, outside is because of the riders in LA. They would have never done that with the advertisements if it wasn't for the riders, bro.
Right. Yeah, that's a way that we would market ourselves and advertise ourselves, our names, our crews, and this bus is gonna go from downtown LA all the way to Venice Beach.
Yeah.
So my name and my crew's gonna be seen the entire way, and back.
Yeah.
So that was a thing, man. That was a thing. So yeah, free marketing.
That's right. Man, something like I want to ask you is like with your style, you got a dope style, bro, where it's like, you see the hand controls on point, you add dope details in the 3D lettering. What's your creative process when you hit a piece, and how did your style develop over the years?
You know what? I'd be selfish, bro, if I took all the credit, and I don't know about all the other writers out there, but we all learn from somebody, bro, and we all take a little bit of other folks that are out there, bro, other writers that are out there. And so you start to just play with that stuff and try to implement it, into your own style and your own lettering and stuff like that. So for me, it was like I wanted to go with a basic font for it to be legible, right? Again, some of my mentors, some of the guys that I mentioned, they didn't mentor me directly, but I was watching them, bro. I was watching everything they did and how they would do their lettering and things like that, and that helped me to develop my own style per se, right?
Yeah.
And I would just see how it was clean, nice clean fill, 3D, maybe some designs in the inside. Fuck around with the 3Ds a little bit, and then your backsplash, your background.
Yeah.
And so I just started to put things together, and if it didn't look good, that's the great thing about what we do, right? Is if you have enough paint, you can fix it. Just go back and, shit, I didn't like that, and just buff it out.
Yeah.
Buff it out, do something different, and okay, that looks better, or whatever the case may be. But that's just me, bro. Shout out to my entire crew, bro. The WBLs, like, we've learned from each other. We've evolved together, And I think that's huge. That's huge, being part of something where you have people that are pushing you in a positive way, to become better, to become stronger in different areas in the graph game, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Man, I want to go off of that, bro. Like,
Sure,
with
man.
your crew, you said like it's like a family, and it seems like you said like iron sharpens iron. You guys are trying to perfect the craft, but WBL, it's a well-known crew. You guys all got dope styles. But I want to ask, how'd you get into that crew, and what does WBL stand for those who aren't in the graph culture who don't know?
Right. So, yeah, man, the crew started back in 1996.
Okay.
It was founded by one of our homeboys. Shout out to the homie Before. And it started in South Central. Another homie, shout out to the homie Tunism. He also started his chapter over on the west side of South Central LA. So at different times, right? But I joined back in 1996, man. I was just a little kid, bro. Again, always hanging out with guys twice my age, And so I had to mature very quick. So I was around a lot of different things from all walks of life,
Yeah.
And so I was able to experience a lot of different things at a very early age. But I joined the crew back then, and I wasn't out there bombing or nothing. I was being mentored by my homie Before, and my homie Blank, rest in peace. My homie Twist, rest in peace. We've lost a lot of good homies too, man, from WBL.
And rest in peace.
So rest in peace to them, and much love to their families, and we've lost a lot of good homies because of the crew, and I was just being mentored by them. And what I mean by mentored is like, hitting the black book, bro.
Yeah.
Like just practice. But what I was good at a very early age was tagging, bro.
Yeah.
So I go tagging all the time. They take me with them tagging, and that was cool. But, I really got to experience the other stuff, right? Like the bombing, and I was like, dude, I want to do that.
Yeah.
How do I do that? But a lot of my homies didn't really do that too much. So it was kind of like I was kind of, in a sense, cursed and blessed at the same time, because I didn't have none of my direct homies that knew how to bomb crazy like that.
Yeah.
So I had to take to the streets and learn from the streets. And who were my teachers, all the legends that we see today,
Yeah.
And so those were who inspired me. But yeah, man, the crew started in 1996. We started as Writing Beyond Limits.
Okay.
Wanted by law. We're bombing LA. What is love, what bitches lust.
That's hard.
we break laws. Just a lot of different meanings. And you've probably seen a few spell outs that we've done in some of the freeways on the 101, the 110. We've done a couple spell outs. Shout out to the homies that put in work, with those spell outs. But it's a lot of different meanings, man. But WBL is not just a crew, bro. It's a family, bro. And that's what we've tried to build,
Mm-hmm.
From back in the 90s till today. Like I tell a lot of the new homies that are in, like, I'm not gonna be around forever, dog,
Yeah.
And so we want to keep it alive, and we want to pass it down to righteous homies, good solid homies that are not that they're in for the long haul.
Yeah.
Not somebody that's gonna come in, learn, and get better, and then bounce to another crew because the other crew has hype and they're known and they get up more,
Yeah.
And so it goes into the rules of the graph game. It goes into like just knowing people, knowing who you bring in is very important, bro. So that we try to focus on that now, even more so now.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost a couple of homies that were solid homies, but due to unforeseen circumstances, shit happens, bro.
Yeah.
Shit happens amongst homies, amongst crews, and there's a lot of politics sometimes. But if you're man enough to to oversee that and take full responsibility and accountability for your actions as a man, homie, you're good, dog. You're solid in our book, dog. And we push forward.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
And that's what's up, man. You brought up like you guys are our family. That's something I think is really cool, bro. You know, it's more than just graff at the end of the day.
Yeah, man.
But something you brought up before we go to break, you said like there's rules to this game. You know, like for those out there listening, you know, there's viewers that are intrigued by this graffiti culture that we live in. Like, what are the rules to this game?
Man, this the basics, you know, the basics of understanding the rules of the game. You know, one thing that I've tried to instill in my homies is don't go causing bullshit, bro. Don't go causing drama, you know?
Yeah.
If you're gonna cap somebody, you know, make it be a legitimate reason. They capped you first, whatever the case may be. So there's rules of engagement, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seek and destroy. So very militant minded, bro. WBL is very militant minded in that aspect where, throwies, if you're gonna do something over a throwy, make sure it's clean, legible, and you don't leave no trace of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing, their name or their crew, because that's disrespectful, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing goes for, like a hard, solid piece, like a bomb, if you're gonna go over a throw up that's fully colored in, make sure it's clean and it's legible,
Yeah.
And then obviously, like, rollers go over everything. As we've seen, rollers have become a big thing lately.
Yeah.
A lot of homies, shout out to all the homies doing rollers. That shit ain't my thing.
Yeah.
I can't, man. I've done a few and it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and you get a workout in your
It's
shoulders
a
right
workout,
there.
bro. But, shout out to the homies that are doing rollers, bro. My respects to them, because I know what it takes to walk down a long-ass spot with a 2 5-gallon buckets of paint, a stick, and sponges and all kinds of shit, bro, and trays, and it's a mission, bro.
Yeah.
But shout out to the homies that do it. But yeah, there's a lot of different rules, and in terms of just respect, bro, in the game. I think that's one thing that I've seen that is I could say that's lacking in our generation today in the graff game, is there's not a lot of older cats instilling morals and ethics and respect into the young cats that are out there doing it now.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important, bro. So that, all the homies that are out there putting in work, smashing the city and the state, bro, and even out of the state, is to carry yourselves with good conduct, bro, so that you're in the game long. You know what I'm saying? You last long if you fly straight, bro. You take shortcuts, you're gonna get cut short, homie. Straight up.
Damn. Yeah, most definitely, bro. All right, y'all. Hey, we're gonna go to a little break, man. We gotta play some music. You guys are listening to The Lost Element on KQBH LP 101.5, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming live on KQBHLA.com. All right, right now we're gonna listen to some tracks. We got 2 youngsters out there in the Mar Vista Gardens, man. Shout out to them. They're about to be going to college soon, but they made some tracks. It's Red Scale and Jakari. Following that, we got some tracks from local LA artists. We got Tacit out of El Monte, and we also got D-Boy out of Carson, California, and YF Fendi out of Carson, California. Following that, we got some Dallas, Texas artists. We got Michael. We got Pat Ron. You guys stay tuned, listen to this music. We'll be back to this interview with Bihz. All right, we're back, y'all. You guys are listening to Lost Element on KQBH 101.5. We're back here. We got Bihz in the studio right now. We're gonna get right back into it, bro. So the first question I got for you, man, is with graffiti being a lost element of hip hop, how is graffiti hip hop?
Man, that's a good question. Graffiti is hip hop, bro. It was one of the fundamentals, bro. If you go back, to NY, to the East Coast, where b-boying and DJing became a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those cats that you talk to from back in the days, I'm sure they'll tell you, they were at one point catching spots, whether it was on the subway trains or catching whole cars or whatever the game is. But graff is hip hop, bro. And if you look at it in today's era, right? It's everywhere. It's in commercials, it's in movies, it's in music videos. Like, it's become a norm for the hip hop industry to showcase graffiti. You know? So it's part of it, man. It's one of the elements of hip hop, bro. Graffiti art, man. That's when you hear hip hop, graffiti's right there, bro. In my opinion.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
For sure.
Hey, you brought it up, like, with the East Coast. Like, whenever I think of, like, New York graffiti, I think of the subway trains, you know. But, like, you know, we're in LA, so I wanna bring this up because we talked about the bus mobbing. That's something I think is so LA, you know, when you look into history. But how would you differentiate LA graffiti to anywhere else in the world? Like, how would you sum up LA graffiti culture?
Well, the East Coast to the West Coast culture, I think you can see it in the fonts, bro. In the different selection of lettering and how they you know, they put their pieces together, per se. I know, in my opinion, when I used to look at East Coast graffiti, they were trying to paint a picture. So it had characters, it had you know, a fucking b-boy in a stance, and then they had the name or the crew, and, you know, a city scape in the background. So it was trying to portray a story, you know, whether it was on a subway train or whatever the case may be. But their letters were a lot of, like, I don't want to say wild style, but it was different. Whereas to in LA, bro, we just want to bomb, you know? Like, we want our shit to be seen, and I want my name to be legible, so when you're driving by at 75 miles an hour, that motherfucker catches your eye. Yeah. Right? You're like, oh, you know, there's Bihz, you know, there's the WBL Crew. So that's one of the things that I think it differentiates in the fonts, bro. I think anybody, you know, can correct me if I'm wrong, but I could vouch for, we're the ones that started doing Old English letters. Yeah. You know, script letters. Again, going back into the gangster culture, right? The gangster LA culture. The Old English, the handwriting script letters, calligraphy. You know, a lot of homies out there are doing a lot of calligraphy in Old English, you know, and that shit's badass. But we've added a twist to it, right? 3Ds, backgrounds, things of that nature, designs inside. So that's that West Coast, you know? Yeah. That's that West Coast funk. And I think we're the pioneers of that, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And the RTD bombing, for sure. You know, the bus bombing, that's an LA thing, bro. For sure.
Yeah, most
we'll always hold the fucking trophy for that one. For sure.
Yeah, hell yeah. So the next one I got for you, man, is like, you know, like in a graff, like, you know, some people consider themselves a writer, a tagger, bomber, piecer, black book artist, you know. What would you consider yourself?
Bro, I'm just a graff head, bro. I mean, I like tagging. You know, if I can catch a bus bench with a streak, I got my streak on me right now. It stays with me, you know? Yeah. I'm a writer, bro. I can slap stickers up, slap tags, whatever you want to call them. If I have a can, I'm gonna sure as hell catch a tag. Or if I could go bombing with my boys, you know, we'd best believe we're gonna go bombing too. So I'm just a graff head, bro. You know, a writer, a street writer, a vandal, bro. Really, because a lot of the shit we're doing is vandalism. You know, we don't do any legal spots. We're just now, the crew, thanks to one of the homies, you know, shout out to the homie Merk. You know, he's got a couple of folks that want us to do some stuff for them. Yeah. That's gonna be legal, right?
Oh, that's what's up,
so, man. Barbershops, liquor stores, things of that nature. In the city by the beach, the LB, Long Beach. Shout out to Long Beach.
Yeah, HA.
You know, yes, sir, Harbor area. So we're gonna do some work out there. But a lot of the stuff that, that the homies do, you got the homie Hank, you got the homie Kiko, you got the homie Bomber, Cranio, Tunism, Hack, all these dudes that are out there hitting the highways, hitting all types of illegal spots, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're vandals, bro. We're vandals, and the reality is, if this shit ain't making you money, bro, you're a vandal.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hell yeah. Hey, bringing up your homies, we were talking about it a little bit. I was driving down the 405 one day, and I seen some of your homies from your crew. I was like looking up, I was like, oh, that's a dope spot. And I look, I was like, oh, they're hitting that up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really be active like that.
Yeah, no, the homies, man, I tell you, shout out to the boys, man. They're fucking active, bro. We got a little chip on our shoulder right now. We're trying to make a statement and let everybody know, hey, we're here. We're here. There's a lot of people in the comments and things like that. Like, I for a long time I tried to stay off of social media.
Mm-hmm.
But I seen it as free marketing, bro.
Yeah.
Right? It's free marketing, free publicity, and we did a crew page and so forth, and they're like, "Whoa, we haven't seen you guys up since the '90s. Like, where were you guys, or what happened to you guys, or whatever?" Right? It's like, never mind that, we're here now.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen. Like I mentioned earlier, we lost a lot of good homies from the crew, and a lot of homies are never coming home. They're spending Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas for the rest of their lives away,
Yeah.
And all for the crew, bro. And personal decisions, right? But the reality is, bro, that all the homies are active, bro. The homies are active. We're not deep. We're not 50, 60 heads strong. But the guys that we have and the homies that we have, they're solid, and they want to put in work. And that's good to have in a crew, bro. Where you don't have to tell nobody to go out and make a name for yourself. Like, they already want to do that voluntarily. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys you want, bro. Those are the guys you want to be around, because like we talked about earlier, evolving and getting better in your craft, right? As a writer, that's how you're going to get better.
Yeah.
By going out and getting up with the homies, And so, yeah, man, if you got some good homies and a good crew, you'll be all right. You'll evolve, you'll get better, and just stick with that crew, man. Stick with that crew and push through, man.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Man, you brought it up earlier, like vandalism and art. Like, I want to ask you, is graffiti vandalism or is it art?
It depends in what context you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got guys that are actually getting paid now for their graffiti art. I'll just kind of mention a few, like Crayola,
mm-hmm.
right? You got Mir, the homie. Shout out to the homie Mir from CBS. Like, you got Retina. Retina painted various buildings throughout LA and got paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's in galleries and things like that. So that graffiti art has become part of art.
Yeah.
Right? And again, it's because it's so mainstream now, right? People
mm-hmm.
are seeing it as like they want it in their living room. They want a canvas that you did in their living room. So for me, graff is graff, until, like I said earlier, until it's paying for your bills and it's making you money, then I could say it would be, then you're doing art now. But till then, you're a vandal, bro. And you're not doing any legal spots, you're a vandal. It's graffiti art vandalism, dog. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Wanted by law, baby.
That's right. I kind of want to switch gears a little bit, bro.
For sure, man.
Like being in graff, a lot of people have a lot of funny and crazy stories, with graff. So is there any funny or crazy stories you could share from doing graff, bro?
Funny? For sure. I think a lot of writers could vouch for having 12 or law enforcement chase them,
Yeah.
Whether it's CHP or in LAPD, sheriffs, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're active and you're putting in work, you're at least gonna get chased once.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been chased multiple times back in the day and even recently, And a funny story is right here off the 405, actually, the 405 over by LAX. Me and the homie Bomber were actually catching a spot. And shout out to my homie Bomber. I love you, dog, but you take a long time. For a freeway spot, the homie gets down, bro.
Yeah.
And he was getting down. He was taking his time. And this was when we first started going out together. So, that's another important thing is like knowing who you go out with and their level of graff, right? Like, is he fast? Is he gonna take his time? Is he gonna put a lot of detail versus you doing? So we learned that the hard way, So me and Bomber, we were out there once and I was done and he was adding the final touches on his, and I fucking seen CHP creeping up, bro, and it was like on an on-ramp.
Yeah.
And, they turn off their lights, but you can still, some of their lights stay on.
Yeah.
And it's only obvious, like, why would a car, stop, like, right where we are? Turns out that I kind of went and stashed my stuff just in case they came up. And then the homie Bomber was like, hey, fool, they're coming up. So, as many freeways that have a hill. Yeah. The cops were coming up the hill to where we were to try and cut us off from our exit point. So that fool said run. He said run. I ran, bro. And I remember my shoes were almost coming off and shit, and we just booked it, bro. When he said run, I ran and I looked back and he was like way back there. So that was like, never leave a homie behind, right? But I was like, what do I do? Should I keep running, wait for him? I fucking waited for him. The cops couldn't come up. It was too steep. Yeah. It was too hard for them to catch us, right? We were gone, bro. But yeah, we ran for like almost 3 blocks to where my truck was parked. Okay. And constantly just looking back. But looking back at those moments, bro, where your shoes are falling off and you throw your backpack, you leave all your cans behind, and you're just like, I'm out of here. We have a lot of those stories, bro. Yeah. A lot of those stories, and some are more funnier than others, but sometimes it's a trip being out there. So be safe out there, everybody. And keep your eyes out, eyes peeled, open. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta make sure you're looking at your surroundings, man. You don't just go up to that wall and just get all comfortable, because motherfuckers will creep up on you. You don't even know it. Yeah, I gotta keep your head on the swivel. Yeah, bro, on the swivel. Exactly. So.
Hey, man, talk about that. I don't mean to be laughing like that, but I could see, like, to this day, like, you probably clowned with your homie, like, man, you were running slow, dog. Like,
and he was the one that told me to run first, you know? And he was closer to where we were supposed to run, and I just passed him, bro. I was like, he told me to run. I said, I'm gone. I'm running. Yeah. And it ties into a lot of the things, you might have not asked, but some of us have a lot to lose and very little to gain from this graff game. Yeah. So sometimes you got to take that into account. The homies that have been interviewed have touched on that, and they said, we're out there risking our lives, risking our freedom for this graff game, bro. Yeah. And it's not because, we want to be known, but it's more because we're passionate about this shit, bro. Like, we live this shit, we breathe it, Mm-hmm. We eat it every day. So it's a lifestyle. Graffiti art is a lifestyle, bro. This whole thing of graffiti it's a way of life, bro. It teaches you, it molds you, and I could speak on that since I'm at the age that I'm at today. I could see how throughout the years, you just keep evolving and growing, and how graff saves you from others. You know what I'm saying? And so that's super important, man. Everybody has vices, everybody has habits and addictions, and mine happens to be graff, bro. And it saved my life, bro, to be honest with you. I'm still here because of the graff game.
Man, that's what's up,
So
bro.
much love to all you graff heads out there. And yeah, man, just keep supporting one another, you know? That's what it's about.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. And the next one I got for you, bro, is like, you brought it, we touched on it a little bit earlier. We talk about like the commercialization of graffiti. You know, like you see it in video games now, at like Nike, all types of different brands, but someone who's really out there doing graff for the culture and the love of it. Like, how do you feel about the commercialization of graffiti?
You know, it's a double-edged sword, bro. You know, as much as it could rub us the wrong way, like, dude, we're out here doing it in the gutter, you know, in the streets and the freeways and billboards and risking our freedom, like I said earlier, and all of that, you know. Why don't we get showcased?
Yeah.
Right? But the reality is, bro, that's the world we live in. You know, commercialization of everything, bro. It's here. It's a norm. It's a reality. And the only thing we could do is put our names out there, put our names in some very interesting spots that might catch the eye of some of these people, you know, when they're doing their music videos or their commercials or whatever they may be. Like Nike's huge on it. I've seen a lot of graffiti art with Nike. Adidas as well, you know, the shell toe.
Yeah.
Puma, you know, shit like that, like the hip hop joints, right? So yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, it's I'd be a hypocrite to say like, oh, I'm against it and all this and that. Like, it doesn't really faze me, bro, you know, because it's not impacting me directly.
Yeah.
So therefore, if it doesn't impact me directly and it's not, and like I said, my name says it all, bro. I'm about my money, dog. Like, if it's not making me money, then it don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, and we share that with the homies too. Like, all the homies, man. Graff is cool, but that shit ain't your priority, dog. You know what I'm saying? You go get your shit right, pay your bills, put food on the table, be a provider, be a man. And then, if you have time, do what you gotta do, you know? Put in work. So that's something that I always emphasize with my homies, because that's something that was instilled in me when I was a little kid. You know, like, you take care of business first, bro. And then you take care of business on that end. And so that always stuck with me, and that's something that I think has gotten me this far, bro. You know, those fundamentals that I talked about earlier, you know, those ethics, those morals that I think we're lacking in the graph industry, in the graph game. So I just want to be one of those cats that plants that little seed, you know, at least with my homies, and we got a lot of homies that believe that too, you know, and they understand it, and they're about that as well. So yeah, man.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. All right, man. This next segment, as we wrap up, bro, is the quick hitters. All right. The first one I got. What's the best brand of spray paint?
Oh man, for me it was Krylon, bro.
Okay.
So for those of you that don't know, Krylon was what I grew up on. Rust-Oleum at that time, but right now, bro, I have to give it to Loop. And my second, Montana, bro.
Montana?
Yeah,
okay,
but
that's right.
The Loops, bro. I fuck with the Loops. Shout out to Loop. Sponsor me.
Shout out to Loop. Hell yeah. All right, next one, bro, is what's the best local food spot near you, man?
Ooh, near me? I'm a LA cat, bro, so I'll drive anywhere for food. I'm a foodie too, dog. So
or all of LA, what's the best one?
All of LA, bro, it depends what you want, though, man. Okay. You know, so I would say if you're in the mood for some chicken, if you haven't been to Dino's Chicken on Pico and Berendo, okay, you gotta check them out, man.
Okay, I gotta check it out.
You'll thank me later. They got some bomb chicken right there. Ask for extra sauce.
Extra sauce? It's called Dino's?
Dino's.
Okay,
Dino's
I'm gonna go
Burgers.
check it out.
Yeah, so Dino's is a good spot. I mean, can't go wrong with Philippe's, you know, over on Alameda by Union Station, if you like French dip sandwiches and shit like that.
Okay.
You know, just any little hole in the wall, bro. I'm really not picky like that, so I explore and I go everywhere. But those are kind of like my tops, you know?
Okay.
Barbecue, I go all the way out to Studio City.
Okay, that's right.
Uncle Andre's, if you want to check them out. Uncle Andre's in Studio City. Yeah, man, burgers with Tommy's on Rampart, bro. You can't go wrong with Tommy's, right?
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I could go on and on, as you can see, dog. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, those are some cool spots.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, man.
Next one I got, man, like when it comes to music, you know, your top 5 music artists of all time.
That's tough. and I might sound biased, but you know, I'm a West Coast Southern Cali guy, right? So
yeah.
For me, bro, Tupac. Number 1, bro. Tupac. I grew up on Tupac. Ice Cube and NWA.
Yeah.
You know, Brother Lynch Hung.
Hell yeah, out of Sacramento, man.
Yeah, yep. Brother Lynch Hung and Sally Cell, shit like that.
That's what's up.
But mainly, bro, I'm a fucking psycho, dog. Psycho Realm.
Psycho Realm?
Pico Union, dog. Shout out to Sick Jack and then Sick Duke.
Okay.
From the Six Symphonies camp, Psycho Realm. Those are my boys right there, bro. These are inked on my chest, bro.
Okay,
that's how
right.
real that's how real we are about that Psycho Realm.
Okay.
So, yeah, man. Shout out to Psycho Realm. That's what I grew up on.
Okay, Psycho Realm.
Sir.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, man. Last one I got for you, bro, is a piece of advice for a youngster out there who's trying to pick up a can and get into graff.
Wow. First of all, before you pick up a can, practice, bro. You know, practice. You know, get a name that's not already taken. Really put some thought into it. You know, put some thought into your name, the symmetry of your lettering, possibly choosing letters that you're familiar with and you're comfortable with. I would say that, and practice, bro. Really dig deep and practice before you go out and try to, you know, put it on the streets, because then it's portrayed a certain way, you know. If you're out there, especially I see a lot of guys out there now that they're just going over everybody and everything, with throwies and things like that, and that's very disrespectful, bro. You know, I had an incident, actually, I'll speak on that, where I had somebody do that to one of mines, and he just did a like regular like a throwaway with color over it. And you know, we talked it out like men, right? We talked about it, and he was like, well, I did this and I did that to it. But I was like, bro, that doesn't matter, bro. Like, first of all, you didn't cover me completely. Number 1. Number 2, I did something better than you did. You know, so that alone right there, that's disrespectful. Because if you would have came with some fire and took my out, like, yeah, bro, no doubt. You earned that spot. But then I had a conversation with him, and I know that he was young and he was new to the game, but, you know, he was like, I'm like, think about the time that it took me to get off my car or to travel to there. I scoped the spot out. I found an open window when I can get in there and do my and get the fuck out without being noticed, right? Because it was a hot boy spot, as we call it, right? And you're just gonna come in and throw some bullshit over it that I'm going over you every single time. And so that's just how it goes, right? And so I went over it, and he said, well, I'm gonna go back. We'll go back and I'm gonna go over it again. Did he go back? No, he never went back. So those are the rules of engagement, you know? And again, that's what I would say, man. Just get connected with somebody that's got the fundamentals down, bro. At least the basics, you know? If you're really new to the graph game, you gotta know the basics, the fundamentals, the rules per se, right? And somebody that really knows them. Not somebody that's gonna go in your ear and just be like, just have a I don't care attitude. That shit's gonna get you into some shit. And it could get you into some problems. It could even get you killed, bro. You know, a lot of writers these days take very serious and very personal. And we live in an era where gunplay is a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And over graffiti, bro, it's not that serious. But if you learn, and like I said earlier, if you fly straight, right, you'll be all right. If you fly straight, you'll be all right. If you're a fucking knucklehead and you just want to do what you want to do, you're gonna learn. You'll fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Hey, Bihz, it was an honor talking to you, having you on this show, man. Thank you for your time. You know, shout out to you. Shout out to all the WBLs out there. You know, I appreciate this interview. You know,
hey, man, thank you, man. I'm humbled and blessed to be here, bro. Thank you for the opportunity. And again, shout out to all of you guys out there putting in work, man. I see you. Shout out to the WBL crew. Much love, much respect. Bihz 1.
Yes, sir. Y'all were listening to Lost Element on KQBH 101.5 FM, a community service of the Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on kqbhla.com. We'll see y'all next week.